Hey, what's everybody? The Villain Club here. Yes, that's right. You see there, the V Club, Villain Club. That's where it's at. It's about anything and everything, unscripted, unadulterated. It's on everything. It's about anything and everything. That's what it's all about. It's about what we are thinking about. But some of you guys probably don't want to express it, don't want to say it, or can't say it. So I'm here to speak for you. I'm here to say it for you. Because I know we think alike. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, whether it's here, whether it's in around us, whether it's across the world. So many things are happening. But I wanted to talk about, going into some of this stuff that's going on here. Alright, and again, it's about anything and everything. So let's get to it. Alright, I wanted to share with you guys, what's transpired over the weekend. And so, Kamala's doing her thing, and Trump's doing his thing, which I thought was pretty funny and witty. Very witty move here. So let's take a look at what Trump did over the weekend here, alright?
All right, so Guy, can we talk about the retail politics of this McDonald's today? I mean, we have fries thanks to you upon request of Guy Benson.
This is for the content of the show, obviously.
Yes.
Not just because I was craving it, having seen the video.
And it's dinner time.
Let me go to the Sky News version here. I was looking for this earlier. But I thought it was pretty funny.
McDonald's customers were shocked over the weekend after they were greeted by Donald Trump at the drive-through window of a McDonald's restaurant in Philadelphia.
Everybody. Hey, I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hello, everybody.
You can take this, right?
Donald Trump immediately got to work, swapping his suit jacket for an apron to start his shift.
That's great, thank you. Okay. I think it's good. You want to do it? Yeah.
Donald Trump worked the floor across the entire McDonald's restaurant, from salting fries.
So grab that.
Let me give him extra salt.
No. Yep. Oh, yep, good. Right there. And then we're going to grab the fry scoop right here.
Right.
Put it into there and just give him a twirl that way.
To having a chat with customers at the drive-thru.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that. Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
It's kind of cool, though, to have that experience that you're pulling up in a drive-thru
You're not
window.
ordinary.
Thank you
You are not ordinary. I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of
And Donald Trump serving, that's pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And meeting fans desperate to save America.
A lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'd be snapping pictures, too.
Hello, everybody.
You can take this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
We'll keep it
Please,
good.
please, please.
We're going to make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Mr.
Compliments
President.
of Trump.
Yes,
Have a good time.
thank you so much.
Thank you over there.
That's pretty nice. Trump paying for it, too.
Have a good time.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see
You
you.
too.
Bye,
Nice to
darling.
see you.
Have a good time. Thank you.
And it wasn't only the inside of the McDonald's restaurant that was abuzz. Voters in the key battleground state of Philadelphia lined the surrounding streets, waving flags and cheering USA, USA.
See, this is patriotism right here. This is real patriotism. You're not going to find illegals here.
Despite reveling in the buzz of the day, Donald Trump didn't pass up an opportunity to take swipes at Kamala Harris.
I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. I never did. I'm running against somebody that said she did, but it turned out to be a totally phony story. So, President Trump! Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody.
You know what's funny too is, because, Kamala's trying to make it look like, she always talked about how she grew up in the middle class. She grew up, with her mom and all that, and, she's claimed to have worked at McDonald's, but there's been no record of that whatsoever anywhere to prove that she's ever worked at McDonald's. But she's trying to claim that to pander to the middle class or the welfare class or whatever, right, lower class, and to making it look like she's just like one of you guys, when she's not even close to that, and she's just a complete clown, being phony and lying about that, So he's doing this just to kind of smear her and rub it in her face, saying that she's so full of shit, alright, and swiping at her for that. And you know what? She's probably never even been in a McDonald's to even do what he just did right now.
Everybody.
He then made a hilarious quip in response to a reporter's question, saying, "I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala."
I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala.
Are you going to put this on your
I
resume?
never worked here.
Why would she lie about something like that? Will it be put on your resume?
I worked at McDonald's.
Why would she lie about that?
Why? Because she's lying, Kamala, that's why.
Donald Trump even had a conciliatory moment with the media pack, where he gave them some French fries.
You'll have to. There's plenty of them in there for you, okay? Thanks. You want to move them back? Here.
But MSNBC wasn't convinced. Unsurprisingly, the hosts and guests piled on Trump, saying the McDonald's shift was a stunt and that he appears to be unwell.
If you're on his campaign...
Of course it's a stunt. It's a stunt on Kamala, That's what it is, to dispel her bullshit lie that she ever worked at McDonald's. And of course, when you have places like MSNBC or CNN to try to say otherwise, of course they're going to do that because they're trying to defend their girl.
And I know you are certainly not. I'm not making any implication of that. But what is the logic behind this, going to a McDonald's? I mean, we know the guy likes Big Macs and filet of fish, and he's used the word love to describe the way he feels about the food there before. But what's this about?
There's no logic to it. It's a stunt. He has not put forth an economic agenda. He, as you know, appears to be not well. And he's engaged in some really bizarre types of activities during this campaign.
And see, they'll try to do stuff talking about how he doesn't look well. I mean, for his age, he's pretty spry for his age to be going around nonstop every day doing something, which is pretty crazy. I want to know what type of stuff he's on, because I want that stuff too.
So this is just another one of those stunts that he will continue on through the campaign. And I think that we need to really focus on making sure that he is not elected, of course, because he is a threat to our democracy, but also the Harris-Walsh agenda is about the economy, reducing the cost of living, reducing the cost of prescription drugs, reducing the cost of housing, and making life better for everyone. And that's what we have to focus on, and make sure we get every voter to the polls and make sure that the voters vote for the future, not taking the country backwards, as you see what Donald Trump continues to try to do. So I'm urging and encouraging everyone to get to the polls and vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to be their next president and vice president.
Political advisor Stephen Chung slammed MSNBC, saying, MSNBC says working at McDonald's is bizarre and strange. This is how Kamala Harris and the elites think of everyday Americans who work everyday jobs. Social media was in meltdown at the footage, with outspoken conservative commentator Riley Gaines saying, a multi-billionaire is serving at the McDonald's drive-thru window. Hilarious. Truly
Yeah,
a man
that's how
of
I
the
see it. I think
people.
it's hilarious.
And commentator Charlie Kirk doubled down on this, saying Kamala could never. Oh, that's right. She never did.
Exactly.
Trump's McDonald's shift comes after he left the audience at the Al Smith dinner in hysterics, reveals Sky News host James Morrow.
On to the fun of U.S. politics. And I tell you what, it's been another awful week for the Kamala Harris campaign. Not only did she flail her way through that Fox News interview with Bret Baier, but she also chickened out of going to the annual Al Smith dinner, a gathering in New York of New York City's most prominent Catholics, where traditionally politicians and presidential candidates give each other a bit of a light-hearted roasting.
Yeah, it's pretty funny stuff. I watched a long clip on the Al Smith dinner, and it was actually very good. It was super funny. I did that video the other day here covering that, and it was pretty funny stuff. And yeah, if it's in New York and it's Catholics, Dems there, I mean, this is something heavily democratically supported. And of course, yeah, there's going to be others as well. I mean, it's a place where it's a common ground for Republicans and Democrats and just everybody, right? But a stronger hold for Democrats, and yet you don't show this thing, right? So nah, that she dropped the ball on that one. She's going to completely screw herself on that.
But she didn't show up, which meant that Donald Trump had the field to himself. And
exactly.
I tell you what, he didn't miss.
Yep, he didn't miss. So that's what Trump did, right? And then let's see here. So Kamala went on MSNBC to be softball interviewed by Al Sharpton, which, Al Sharpton's not going to pressure her or ask her difficult questions. It's going to be a softball interview. So I'm using the Cartier family here because they have a pretty good take on things, right, in a black perspective. And obviously they already see that she struggled through this particular interview because all her interviews have been a disaster, right? Softballs. And when there is somewhat of a pressure, like the 60 Minutes interview, like the the interview on Fox, right? That's disastrous. So let's see what she has to say here, right? Courtesy of the Cartier family footage here.
Must set a standard, not only for our nation, but understanding the standard that we as a nation must set for the world. We as representing the United States of America walk into rooms around the world with the earned and self-appointed authority to talk about the importance of democracy, rule of law, and have been thought of as a role model, imperfect though we may be, but a role model of what it means to be committed to certain standards, including international rules and norms, but also standards of decorum. The President of the United States must set a standard.
What the hell does she be talking about?
She just pointed out.
Yeah, so that's an example of word salad, right? Like, that's the stuff that she talks about every day. And it's like, that's the same question that everybody asks every day is, what the hell are you talking about? Right? That's exactly my response to as just like what they were saying. It's like, that's an example of what she does frequently with the word salad. All right? So let's see here.
The United States
Word
must have a
salad is a
standard.
great caption.
Not only for the United States, but for the whole world.
I bet no one knows she grew up a middle class kid.
Hold on.
No one knows.
Was it Al Sharpton did business with Trump and Trump helped him out with
Yeah.
business? That's what makes me crazy.
Al Sharpton is a grifting race baiter. He is the #1 grifter in America.
And then he tried to call Trump
There's
racist.
numerous.
And
They
he
pissed
did
me off
business.
Byron with the Byron. That pissed me off. Look how fat
Yeah, so look how
he
fat
used
he
to
was.
be.
Yeah, he used to be a fat dude, right? Reminds me of Don King, right? If you guys know Don King, Mike Tyson's manager back then, when Mike Tyson was a boxer. Reminds me of Don King somewhat. I mean, not a dead on, but Yeah, they did business in the 80s together, right? He helped him out and all that. And they had a pretty good business relationship, you know? So for Al Sharpton to kind of deny that and to really go against that, that's just par for the course because, you know, any sort of, for whatever reason, black people that have had a former relationship all of a sudden turn their backs against the things that Trump has done for them. Another example was here on Valuetainment here when Trump talked about an instance where he went out of his way to help out Van Jones, who's on CNN, and it was about criminal justice reform back in, you know, his first presidency. And the thing about this is very fascinating because the thing about what happened with the criminal justice reform, it was something that was talked about during the Bush presidency, it was talked about during Obama's presidency, and it was never really taken into consideration. And then Trump took it into consideration. And when Van Jones approached him about it, he said, "You know what? Let me talk to the people, all right, his people within the government. And if he was able to sway, which he said he's going to get the people to sway into supporting the criminal justice reform and pass it, which they ended up doing, all because Trump talked to them, only for Van Jones to turn his back and trash on Trump, which, you know, Trump, I mean, it's par for the course. So let's take a look at this one, though. I thought it was a fascinating take here. He was talking about Van Jones. And Van Jones is one of the ultimate pandering, shit-talking piece of shit on CNN. All right? That is definitely a race baiter and, you know, insulting Trump all the time. Doesn't make any sense to me. But let's take a look at this story.
When I think about the 2024 election, I saw some numbers that came out, which I thought was fascinating.
Right.
Rob, if you can pull this up from CNN. So this is CNN reporting on this just 2 days ago. Okay, Barack Obama, when it comes down to black men ages 18 to 44, he was up 81 points in November of 2012. Hillary was up 63 when she went against you.
Yeah.
Biden was up 53. Kamala, who is apparently black, she's up 41. And
what do you mean by apparently?
I mean, that's what they're telling us. We're supposed to believe she's black.
No,
and, you know,
it's much better that, no. See, I would never say a thing like that. But you said, don't explain what you mean. No, I don't want to put you in trouble.
Yeah, apparently. Well,
I was going to throw it onto your shoulders, apparently. Well, no, you know, you could explain it because I understand.
I'm very comfortable explaining it because overnight, you know, she's doing a show. She's supposed to be Indian. And then all of a sudden now it's black, but it's not landing with the average American. So if you look at
do you think black men, that's why she's not doing well?
Well, watch this.
Some people say that.
In 2016, you had 13% of male black voters 18 to 44.
Right.
In 2020, you had 18%. In 2024, you're at 26%. It's doubled in 8 years. The question I'm asking you is the following. Back in 1960, 64% of African Americans would vote Democrat.
Right.
The other was pretty much conservative. African Americans have historically been very conservative.
Okay.
Barry Goldwater, the issue happens, 1964.
Right.
It goes from 64% Democrat to 92%. And it's been between 85 to 92% since 1964, right? You've come in and you've shaken things up. Do you think 2024 is going to be one of those moments where African American men, they're like, listen, I'm sick and tired of Democrats feeling like they own me. I think I'm going to go to the other side. Do you think 2024 could be one of those years that we look back and say they lost the African American vote?
They really lost it for a while, the Republicans. I mean, it started, I guess, with Barry Goldwater, if you look at the charts. But I did criminal justice reform. That's a big thing. They've been trying to get it. You know, I saw a guy named Van Jones. He's I don't think anybody knows who he is. He's a commentator for CNN. And he came to see me in the White House, and he was crying.
I remember that.
He was crying because I bring these things up because it's a lack of, I don't know, there's something about loyalty. You help somebody with something. He came in with a fairly large group of people, mostly black people. And
he's a piece of shit.
He was
on
devastated
CNN.
because criminal justice reform wasn't going to happen. Obama didn't do it, and didn't even come close. Bush didn't try. Nobody was going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one that could have done it. And
he did it.
He was with a group of people that was, they were begging to do it. They were 5 votes short. And they had to be conservative votes because there was nobody else left, right? And I guess you needed the 61 or 60-something, maybe 66, but 61 is a hard vote. And he made a plea to me, Van Jones, total sleazebag. He made a plea to me to help him and help this group of people. And they explained how for years they've been trying to get it, and they've been unable to get it. And I said, well, let's take a look at it. And I studied it for a little while and spoke to them. And I said, you know what, I'm going to help you. It's going to help the black people in particular. And I'm going to get it for you guys. And I called up 5 very conservative senators. And I'll never forget one of the senators who was in charge of it. He was literally leading the charge against it. And I mean, his whole career was this. He was going to stop criminal justice reform. Not because he was, anti-black, just he didn't like it. He didn't want it. And he was in the papers every day. He's fighting it, winning very easily. And I helped him get elected. Without me, he wouldn't have gotten elected. I'll never forget it. I called him up. Now, he's in the heat of passion. He is fighting this all the way. Not something he would ever give up. You couldn't, there's some things you can't. I call him up. He gets on the phone. I didn't say a word. I said, hello. And he goes, I'm giving it to you. I said, what are you giving me? I'm giving you criminal justice reform. That's why you're calling, right? I said, it is why I'm calling. He said, you got me elected. I disagree with you, but I'm giving it to you just like that. I said, that's one of the coolest things I've ever heard, because I also have the opposite, where I got a lot of people elected. When I endorse somebody, in history, and I don't want to brag, but in history, you can get another chart on that one. I mean, I'm like 289 and almost nothing for endorsements. And he said, you got me elected. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. And I did, but I got a lot of people elected, and some of them forget. And I said, that's the coolest thing. I said, thank you. I said, do you mind if I call a couple of the... Nope, you do whatever you want. Now, this is a guy who was the leader of the fight. I didn't even ask. He knew what I was calling for because he knew that I was going to help Van Jones, this Van Jones guy. I was going to help him. And you'll understand why I'm being nasty to him now, because what happened later is disgraceful.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
I said, thank you very much, Senator. I'm so happy that I did help you. I think loyalty is a great thing. And that was the end. So I had his vote. I then called 4 other guys, all of whom were against it. And I said, I'd love to have. And they, they don't do it for a lot of presidents, but they do it for me. And I got them 5 votes that they needed, and criminal justice reform passed, right? Then, and I was happy for them. I was happy for everybody. Everybody was happy. They couldn't believe they got it done. And it was something that really the black population wanted far more than anybody else. I've never even heard it mentioned with other people. It was mostly the black population. And they've been fighting it for, like, what, you'd say 40, 50 years, right?
64.
So we
got
got
40,
it done.
50 years, yeah.
Yeah. So I got it done. I got something done. I got a lot of things done that nobody else could have gotten done. So what happens is Van Jones and all, they called for a news conference that night. The vote was taken. They got it done. And I said to my wife, come on over here. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Watch this. this gentleman was in my office a number of weeks ago, and he needed votes, and I got it done. It'll be nice to watch somebody really say something nice about your husband. I said that to Melania, and I said, watch this. And they got up and they spoke, but Van Jones got up, and it was a little, I don't get too embarrassed, you know. He got up, he thanked this one, he thanked that one, he thanked this one, that one, that one. The only one he didn't thank was Donald Trump. And I look at that sleazebag now, and I say, he's got bad way. I looked at him. Then I saw him last night, and he was on CNN, which is dying, by the way, in the ratings, because they have people like him on.
CNN is terrible.
And I watched him last night say how he hopes I'll be defeated. And we should defeat him. We have to fight him. He shouldn't be allowed to be. And I said, you know, normally I'd say I wish I had that vote back, but I did the right thing.
Why do I think he praised you? Why do I think he got emotional crying?
No.
Giving you credit about what you did.
I don't know. All I can tell you is he was crying in my office. That's probably what you heard. Before he got it, he was crying. He was literally, they went over to him with handkerchiefs. He was crying.
He cries
Tears were pouring down his eyes.
Van Jones, he cries a lot.
Before. But after he wasn't crying, not that I know. But so he didn't mention me the night of the news conference. He was leading the news conference, and I don't need it. I get mentioned plenty of times, et cetera, et cetera. But I watched last night. It's a good place to say this, actually. It's better than writing out a truth, whatever. But I watched last night, and I watched him talk about how I must be defeated. You know, I'm a bad guy or something. And
Van Jones is saying this.
Yeah. He said it last night. I saw him last night. I don't watch CNN. Honestly, I don't watch it. But I happen to be, you know, I'm passing it, and I see him on, and I watched him talking about essentially negative about me. You know, what difference does it make? Nobody cares what they do. They have, they've been fighting me for years, and, you know, I became president. I did much better the second time than I did the first, and now I'm doing it the third time. And if the election's not rigged, we're going to win. If it is rigged,
bottom line,
I guess that's a different story, but we'll find out pretty soon. But I watched this guy last night against me, even if he was a little against me, but he wasn't. He was like, you know, we have to defeat Trump. We have to defeat him. And I've watched him a little bit over the years, and every time I watch him, I say, what a sleazebag he is, you know, what a bad guy.
He's a scumbag.
But I did it for black people. I did it for, it was purely, the only people that told me about criminal justice reform were African Americans, that's all. And I did it for them. I also did historically black colleges and universities, and I got them financing. I would see the heads of colleges come down after 2 years. They would come to Washington, like 45, 50 people, a group. They'd always come in, a big group. And I got to know them a little bit because they had to come through my office to get funding. And after the second time, I said to him, why do you keep coming down here for funding? Don't they give you? He said, no, they make us feel like beggars. That was the term. And a couple of them I got really frustrated. Some of them I still see a little bit. And I said, what does that mean? He said, every year we come down for funding for the black colleges and universities. And they play a great role, a very important role, in my opinion. So I said, so you mean every year you come down? We do. We come down together, and we go and see senators and congressmen, and we try seeing a president. But I got to know him, and I said, you know, this is no way to live where you come down. And I ended up getting them more money than they even wanted. And I got it done, and I got it long term. And I said, fellas, I just got this done for you, and I want to tell you a little secret. I'm unhappy about it. They said, why? I said, because I'll probably never see you again. You'll never come down to Washington to see me. And I meant it actually in a friendly way, because I got used to seeing them. They were always coming down looking for money. I took care of their needs long term, more money than they wanted. I said, you're going to need more money than that. And I got it for them. And I think that's why black men really like me. And I think black women do too. But they have a woman who is black. although you would say she's Indian, but
All right, so yeah, I'll just stop it right there. But yeah, so it shows, truly what a president does, about what, that happened there. And he doesn't get enough credit for what he does, So that's showing how he's helped the black people over the years. And to have them just turn their back on him for what, because he's not a Democrat. What is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, And how about just standing by the person that was there for you instead of just standing by because it's a party affiliation, So, or claims of this and that when obviously he's had relationships, across the aisle.
Lord. Sharpton has been. Hey, can you read that aloud?
Going back to Kamala now. I know he kind of took a side step there.
The money makeup.
You're saying they deserve to die, basically. That's not the same rhetoric?
It is. Yeah.
Just making sure.
I've known you a long time, and I know you have thick skin. But I'm not asking you as a person, because I know you're used to that. But what does it do, in your opinion, to the standards we're setting for our young people all over the country when we're using this kind of locker room street talk about an opponent for president of the United States?
So the American people deserve so much better. That's how I come at it.
You're in office.
And to your point, the president of the United States must set a standard, not only for our nation, but understanding the standard that we as a nation must set for the world. We as representing the United States of America walk into rooms around the world.
Like, that's just so obvious. I'm sorry we were listening to that.
More word salad,
She
right?
says what a kindergarten would say. What do you think a president does?
I think a president is
not
only the
more
United
word
States,
salad,
but
right?
for the whole world. Cares about the American people.
She literally says it like a kindergarten.
And the American people are important because they're in America.
She has smart kindergarten level. She sounds like a smart kindergartner, basically. What do you think a president does? And that's the little answer that she gives.
Well, how would you move toward a ceasefire? What do you think the United States should be doing?
So first of all, look.
Here's the easy way to do it. Let Israel finish the job. All right? And that's plain and simple. If Israel just doesn't get any obstacles to finish the job, no opposition, because we are their allies, this war would be over. All right? And that's it.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But we have got to get this war over with. We got to get the hostages out. We need the war to end. In fact, we're sending Tony Blinken, Secretary of State, out next week to go and meet with the parties there. And the death of Sinwar, I believe, has removed an obstacle to that end. And so we've got to work at it, and we've got to work at it through diplomatic means, and that's what we intend to do. But listen, the reality of it is that the difficulty of it all is not new to any administration in recent history. And it cannot be the reason that we don't work at it around the clock and be vigilant. And that's what we're going to do.
Kindergarten answer.
Word salad.
You have to work at it.
Y'all ready to hear opportunities,
finish the job.
and ambitions?
I would hope you're working at it.
I'm ready to see about my ambition and opportunity zones, guys. Yay.
Nah, when she said we must work hard, and hard work is good work. Wow.
And one of the things that reporters ask, and we don't get it from the audience, is what about the Kamala the cop? And I said, well, I knew her as DA.
Right.
You and I go with that. She was one that wanted people with marijuana arrest not to go to jail.
Exactly.
And the Attorney General wasn't even under your purview. I mean, do you think that this is orchestrated, that they're trying to find some way to separate you from some elements? Because you used to be attacked for being too progressive as a district attorney.
I know. You know what? Here's the thing, Rev. We are, as of today, Sunday, 16 days away from the election for President of the United States. Dang. And there are all sorts of people who are going to throw a bunch of things out that will include mis and disinformation with the intention to dissuade certain people from voting. And that's not new.
That's what y'all
Just like what they do.
Just
like they do of throwing out disinformation.
And Mussolini.
Yeah.
Like, come on, y'all. Like,
that's not misinformation.
And complaining about rhetoric.
Like, come
You're on a
on.
misinformation platform right now.
I'm so sick of Kamala Harris.
It's a form to sway.
So after Trump wins,
That's
how
what
long
they
do you
do.
think it's going to take for her to go away forever?
You know what also hurts my heart? It's actually African Americans out here that believe that Trump will put them in slavery, bro. If you're
I
that,
don't think people believe that, bro.
bro,
No,
people
no,
that really, that's their first argument with me. He's going to put us in chains.
No child left behind.
I
see that on the
have
internet.
argued with cousins, family, relatives, and all
I'd
that,
say
brother.
10 to 20% of black people may
Niggas believe that these niggas gonna
10
put
to
us in chains.
20% of the stupidest of our demographic, brother.
Trump was in office already. He ain't put us in chains. How the hell he gonna put us in chains? That mean the black people that's in office that votes.
You have to realize they have a slave mentality. They slave mentality to the Democrat Party. They're going to put us in chains.
It's three branches of
You're
government.
a sellout. Wux.
And you know what's crazy to me?
You're a goon.
Y'all might say I'm wrong for saying this. These people like crying off for this. The Democrat is the same people that tell black people they need their own black space like Jim Crow, and then ask for equality and inclusion at the same time. That shit is weird to me, bro. Y'all don't just
shit. A lot of shit don't make sense. Democrats, and it don't make sense.
You want to be recognized and represented, then that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. They moving more towards Jim Crow on policies that they have.
Exactly.
And then you say Jim Crow, nigga, did you just say Jim Crow?
Hang him. Burn this.
You are a disgrace, my brother.
like I can't get over.
Said, hold on, y'all. Hold on, please.
Like, what was it when we saw? Wasn't on CNN when that one dude used quotes from Malcolm X, and then they said, "Are you gonna say that?" Oh. I said, "Man, you soft ass niggas, man. We don't even see strange fruit no more on the trees, and everyone want to keep complaining and shit,
That
man.
was crazy.
Fuck.
That was crazy.
We don't see that. We don't go out
Which is true. There was a panel. There was a panel interview, and one of the guys that was bringing up facts about what Malcolm X said, and when he tried to bring that into the discussion, the CNN panel flipped out, and it's like, this is Malcolm X's own words, and it's like, you know, CNN and the Democrats are just a bunch of clowns and dummies.
strange fruit. We don't.
All right,
I'm
can
giving it a
Can we
honey.
just press play?
I'm trying to figure out what he mean by that.
You know, strange fruit, that's when somebody's hanging from a tree. Yeah. That's lynched people.
You never heard it? You don't know what that is?
No, I never heard nobody call it that, bro.
I never heard that either.
You think that's funny?
It's like a song.
You think that's funny?
Not funny, but like,
You green-eyed boy?
No, actually, doing that and that movie that they were, basically
They had
calling
strange-
Trump to be
Alright, let's cut to
They be
this.
making white people feel so evil, boy. With every show and movie, like they just it's great to make white people.
It's because, bro, they,
those colonizing
DEI
evil
is
white
racism.
men.
Hey.
It's in your DNA.
Do you think some of
DEI
the
is
resistance
reverse
of
racism.
some men, black and white, is misogynist? And are you proud
Like, this
to
is
see
crazy.
that most Americans, even being polled, have no problem? Do you think some of the resistance of some men, black and white, is misogynist? And are you proud to see that most Americans, even being polled, have no problem supporting a woman at all? And I'm one that lived from Shirley to Kamala in terms of these campaigns.
And I have an emotional reaction to you raising the point of Shirley Chisholm, because
Y'all know who that is?
it is on her broad shoulders that I stand, and so many of us stand. And we have come a long way, to your point, and on your specific point about including the fact that I have the support of countless black men who are in elected positions, including I'm just this afternoon and 2 church visits today with the mayor of Atlanta. That being said, I think that you are absolutely right, that there is this narrative about what kind of support we are receiving from black men that is just not panning out.
Because
It's a
the
fact
reason,
that
It's because you're getting the least out of any
she's a
Democratic
dummy.
candidate in the past 3
Duh.
elections.
I mean,
Numbers show that.
You can come by.
One of the worst vice presidents in office ever And even everybody in government was speaking about it. And then next thing you know, that was sidestepped and forgotten when she was propped up to be the presidential nominee by, a coup of Biden. And all of a sudden she's the front runner and all this other stuff when she's terrible, And so she didn't earn the vote. Like she's going out there saying, oh, I got to go out there and earn the vote. She never even earned a vote in the primary to even be considered true nominee for running for president. She got propped up and placed in it, and there's a big difference.
I could go out there and not say, from what I've seen, I can go out there and not say a goddamn policy. If I get elected as the Democrat nominee, I'm going to have 50% of nigga votes from just being black.
But
all you got to do is just have a dark skin. I'm voting for the dark skin.
Because we need change.
Yep, that's all I am. Brother, I'm here for change, bro.
You're a misogynist. Whoosh. You're a coon.
Yeah.
Whoosh.
I take my lashes, brother.
You're a sellout. Whoosh. No, that's literally what it is.
That's a great example, though, bro.
That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, black people have such a slave mentality.
They do that into submission. They beat you to submission.
Like
they
the way
told you to submission.
The way
You're not
that
gonna bully me.
No, the way that black people are so loyal to the Democrat.
Nigga, he read the book. He want to be shit. Nigga, you want to go to school? You want to go work for the white man?
So when asked this question about how will this affect my life in terms of a voter worrying about the fact that, look, price of groceries still too high. I get it, they get it. And what are we doing to help them actually get through life in a way that they're not just getting by but getting ahead? We have to have specific policies that do that. And that is what I offer under what I call an opportunity economy approach. So when
I told you it was coming, guys.
Like, it's still, why can't they do that now since they've already been in office, right? That's the question.
I said it, opportunity economy.
But she literally answers the question like
the same every time.
But like
script, stick to the script, Kamala. Bro, she's down 10 points. It's over with.
Yeah, man, I'm just sick of Kamala. I can't wait till Kamala Harris lose and we never have to see her again. And all the black people that was crying on X can cry some more.
It's gonna be fun.
I ain't gonna lie.
I can't wait.
It's so scripted to me.
I can't wait.
I feel like if she would.
Oh yeah, of course. MSNBC is scripted. It's softball at its finest, just like CNN, just like what other liberal stuff, ABC, NBC, CBS. They're all liberal leaning, progressive, scripted, softball, friendly environments that don't ask tough questions or nothing. Of course, that's what's going to happen, all right? And so that's where I leave it with, all right, as to what's been going on over the past weekend, all right? And you can see the difference between what Trump is and what Kamala is. And so I'm just trying to show you guys the differences between the two and what it takes to be president and who can be a president, right? And to me, Trump fits the bill, fits the script of what it is to be a president. But at the same time, we got to really look at what he has done and what Kamala has done, right? And then you can always argue, oh, well, Kamala's only vice president. But then at the same time, all the stuff she's trying to propose, it's just going to make things worse, all right? So if you want America that's going to be worse, all right, well, then you'll get what you vote for then, all right? That's all I got to say. And meanwhile, last thing before we go, man, look at Elon, all right, representing the Republicans. They're offering $1 million a day to voters for signing a petition backing MAGA, right? That's what it is. I think it's backing MAGA. The Constitution, right? It's about America, all right? It's about not having open borders and all this bullshit that's been going on during this recent presidency, right? Enough is enough. And this is truly turning the page from this BS. And we can start doing that with this election. So we got to go out and vote. and I already did mine. All right, so got to do yours. And with that, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, hit the bell icon. Thanks for tuning in, and more to come on the daily. I'll see you in the next one.